yields null to off for IBC Presidential 2017. This prevents populating the database with null values. G. The auto-update statistics was switched to on to enable updating of values in tandem with their program. H. They switched auto-create statistics to enable their program traverse the database, updating it with their set of desired values to avoid trace. 7. Within just over 12 hours, this attack on our democracy affected presidential elections in all the 47 counties, both in the live process and the backup. And these counties, Mombasa number 1, highlighted at page 5, Kwale, page 7, Kilifi, page 8, Tana River, page 9, Lamu, page 10, Taita Taveta, page 11, Garissa, 12, Wajir, 13, Marsabit, 13, 14, Isiolo, 14, 15, Meru, 15, 16, Tharaka-Nithi, 16, 17, Embu, 17, 18, Kitui, 18, 19, Machakos, 19, 20, Makueni, 20, 21, Nyandarua, 21, 22, Nyeri, 22, 23, Kirinyaga, 23, 24, Murang'a, 24, 25, Kiambu, 25, 26, Turkana, 26, 27, West Pokot, 27, 28, Samburu, 28, 29, Trans Nzoia, 29, 30, Uasin Gishu, 31, 32, Elgeyo Marakwet, 32, 33, Nandi, 33, 34, Baringo, 34, 35, Laikipia, 35, 36, Nakuru, 36, 37, Narok, 37, 38, Kajiado, 38, 39, Kericho, 39, 40, Bomet, 40, Kakamega, 40, 41, 42, Vihiga, 42, 43, Bungoma, 43, 44, Busia, 44, 45, Siaya, 45, 46, Kisumu, 46, 47, Homa Bay, 47, 48, Migori, 48, 49, Kisii, 49, 50, Nyamira, 50, 51, and Nairobi, 51. This also affected the results of all other elections, including the gubernatorial, senatorial, the women rep, members of parliament, and members of county assembly. 8. My countrymen, it has always been common knowledge that Uhuru Kenyatta's regime was a fraud. This takes Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto's fraud on our morality to another level. But you can only cheat at people for so long. This information gives Kenyans the trail of the hacker. How he arrogantly walked into the IBC database, took control of the entire electoral process, manipulated the data, and published falsity for a result where we all just wanted to celebrate our democracy. What the IBC has posted as results on the presidential elections is a complete fraud based on a multiplier that fraudulently gave Uhuru Kenyatta votes that were not cast. The electoral fraud and fabrication of results was massive and extensive to the extent that the results of the 47 counties were manipulated. And as I've said, you have uncovered the fraud. Uhuru must go home. The IEBC must be fully accountable. The will of the people is unstoppable. We are the superior one in the clouds. But most profoundly, a Kenyan with excellence career in public service had to die. Chris Musando's blood has been shed on the altar of the thirst for absolute power. At the officer responsible for elections, Mr. Musando had to access as the super user, had the access as the super user who has all access and can edit other users or alter data. His logins were used to gain access into the IEBC core server and freely alter election data as they pleased, forgetting one key element: turning off the logging. The 2017 general election was a fraud. In his words, Uhuru said that he did not need voters to win an election. And this is said in Turkana, repeated it again in Makueni. The hacking has definitely affected the results of the 2017 general elections. It's a tragedy of monumental proportions and a total disaster. We do not need him as our leader. And I say this on behalf of all those who participated in the rest of other elections: MCAs, members of parliament, women reps, senators, and governors. All those elections are affected by this fraud. God bless you. God bless Kenya.
So what is your response to this?
This is the complete the print out for how they gained access into the IEBC server, how they manipulated, who did it, how it was done, at what time, who they were. And I will invite now our ICT experts to come and explain to you in detail.
Can they explain? Yeah.
Because of this tragedy, Kenyans must be very deeply disturbed. We want, as your leaders, to call on you to remain calm at the present moment. In fact, I would even go on and say those who are supposed to go to the offices should do so. But there may come a time when we will have to call you to action. But for now, it is important that we be strategic as we delve deep into this matter.
I will explain what happened between the times of 12:37 on the 8th of August to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now there are two issues here to deal with: access and privileges. Now, in standard operating procedure in IT, when you have a database, you have the super administrator. In this case, they were using Microsoft SQL Server. Once the super administrator is created on first instance, this super user can then now create other roles within the database. All right? Now, Mr. Chris Musando was the super administrator in this case. With his credentials, he was able to give different people the same credentials or lower credentials. But as is highlighted in this document, you'll find that such users did not exist. Only one super user existed in this core server. On the second issue, privileges. Now, you will note, once you get a copy of this document, on page 4, based on the type of access you have as a user, you can carry out certain functions, right? These functions allow you to install algorithms, allows you to install stored procedures. It also allows you to remove logging. One good thing about the SQL environment and the VM, the virtual machine used, is that there are always master logs that you cannot delete, right? So on page 4, you will see about 6 functions which were mentioned earlier that were picked. These functions, highlighted one by one, deal with installing stored procedures, changing of date time, recursive triggers, and turning the rounding off of numbers, because an election you cannot have half a vote. Now, the key thing to note in this document on page 2 is if you're a super user in such a system, when you sign in, you have to sign in using a security certificate. You will note that the certificate used was unsigned. For many of you who have Google, if you look at some of the information on that, an unsigned certificate is generally an indication of an attack. Plain and simple. Last but not least, you'll find on page 52 that 2 things happened. One, a user, SA, that is super administrator in MS SQL, SA logged in. 2, the user, Chebukati, logged in. 3, the user at the bottom of page 52, Msando, also logged in. Now, depending on the privilege, if you have that access, depending on the privilege assigned to you by the super administrator, it allows you to generate certain procedures, turn off certain statistics, which explains as to why the so-called stored procedures, the so-called functions, the so-called triggers, which are highlighted here, took effect at specific times. The full document has the master log date time up to the second. So you can be able to track the functional, you can be able to track the functions and the activities that happened from 1237. Thank you very much.
Where did you get the information from? Let me just say, you'll get these documents. We invite you to look at it. Is evidence that is in the possession of IBC. This is secondary evidence. The primary evidence is with the IBC. In law, the person who possesses the primary evidence, when called upon, should be able to produce it. If the IBC is being transparent, all these materials that have been given is available and is fact. Now, to demonstrate that this is fact, yesterday, when we had discussions with Mr. Chebukati, who has called me this morning that he desires a meeting with us, showing that this is not a joke. Yesterday, Saffron, who are running this system, guaranteed to us that within 10 minutes, after opening accounts with them, we would be able to get copies of Form 34A, which according to the law should have been scanned and should have been available in the IEBC database. We released our IT personnel together with the experts from Saffron and the IT personnel from the IEBC. Up to this morning, despite assurances given by the IEBC, we were only able to get one Form 34A, only one in the entire Republic. And the law requires that as soon as the results are announced, they should be scanned at the polling station, relayed to the constituency and the National Tallying Center. Only one Form 34A was available as of this morning at 5:30 a.m., which means confirmation for what we have been shown, that the database would not include Form 34A, because if you were to get possession of that Form 34A, it would disprove every information that IEBC has displayed. And what is going to happen is a replication of what happened in 2013, that then the IEBC needs time to try and manipulate what exists on the ground in terms of Form 34A and what they have displayed as the results, which are text images, not images of the form. The law requires that what is scanned and should be displayed are the statutory forms, which is Form 34A. What they are doing is keying in results which can come from anywhere. And to that extent, what we are saying is actually facts.
Mr. Ryder, do you still have faith in the paper trail? Do you believe that the Form 34As were filled in at the polling station level, and that in time they will come up through the system and you'll be able to, and the people of Kenya will have the true results?
You see, we don't think that IEBC is going to give those Form 34As. The law, in accordance with the ruling of the court, was that the results announced at the polling stations will be transmitted to the constituency tallying center, and that they will be tallied at the constituency center, and that IEBC will only get the final results from the constituency returning officers. Mr. Chebukati himself did say this yesterday, that they will not announce the results until they received from now is for 34B from the returning officers. Yet they continued, in spite of the protest from our team, which was at the Bomas of Kenya, that they should not be displaying these results on the screen. They continue to display these results, because some of them knew exactly where those results were coming from.
Where did this information come from? What you just released this morning? The final details about the hacking.
This is on IEBC server database. We are basically telling our people not to accept these results. These are fraudulent results, not only the presidential, but right through from the governors up to the MCAs. This is what we are telling Kenyans, and they're asking them to stay calm, remain calm, as we get deeper into this.
At what point did you realize about the hacking, and who actually flagged out the hacking?
We have just given you this information. You're going to get the information about the hacking, and you can really go through that. Do you have the copies?
The documents.
These elections are fraud. Then what are your results? You said you had a turning center so that we can compare.
Yes, we are going to talk about the result of our turning center. Okay. But our results from our turning center show completely different results. that we got over 8.1 million votes compared to 7.2 of our opponents.
And if you realized about the hacking in 12:37 last night, why did you wait until now when we had a press with you?
12:37 is when they entered the server and started manipulating the results, preparing, so that as the results started coming, then they started manipulating them. This is a 52-page document which gives you in great details what transpired from 12:40 around up to 2 a.m. this morning.
Mr. Raila, are you calling for a runoff, or you believe that you want first round?
There's no elections.
Yes, Mr. Raila, are you calling
Bwana Odinga, kwa Kiswahili tutongo tuelezea wa Kenya kwa Kiswahili tu kwa muhtasari tunao.
Is there another question in English before we?
Yes, what is your, what's the next step?
Let's have some order.
Yeah, what's your response to this? I mean, are you going to call for protests? Are you going to make a legal challenge? What's the next step?
We have urged the people to remain calm as we go deep into this matter. But we have also told them that this is a fraud of monumental gravity, and that therefore they should just understand we didn't have an election. When we had an election, our people toiled and braved the rains, the heat, in the long queues. But then, as the President said in Turkana, and also repeated in Makueni, that he does not need the people's votes. He knew exactly where his votes were going to come from. And this is it.
The lady there? You. Yeah. Or you don't want to have
No. As it is, it's very apparent that the legitimacy and the capacity of the electoral body is coming into question. And you say that you're pretty sure that they're not going to release these forms to you. And you released this information which ideally states that the electoral body has been compromised at the digital level. Kenyans right now are asking themselves a lot of questions. Nairobi is pretty much hanging in the balance. The question that Kenyans want to know is what next? We understand that you want the situation to remain calm, and what we're hearing is a lot of sentiment with no directive. So what next, Mr. Odinga?
No, we will be talking later. At the moment, we just ask people to remain calm. We want to hear the response from the IEBC, because we have given them this evidence.
So I'm going to ask you again, how do you
There's somebody over there.
yes, Mr. Odinga. Your agents, NASA agents across the country, have their own copies of all of the results. Are you going to release the full details of your copies of the results? And if so, when should we expect them?
That we will do at an appropriate time. At the moment, we are more concerned with this fraud which took place here.
But that's what will prove your case, isn't it? Because
please, this proves our case first, that what was being announced is fraud.
The lady there?
Who gave you the information?
Confidential.
That has been answered. Yeah.
Now, have you been able to identify the hackers, whether they are local or where could they be, the ones who have been able to attack the IBC database?
That information is confidential. We must ourselves to protect our sources. But the hackers are...
With respect, I don't think the question has been answered as to how you got that information. Did you hack the IEBC computer to get that information? Where did it come from? You reveal your sources.
You must protect our sources.
We're not running for president.
We must
You're not telling us where the information came from.
We are telling you that we must protect our sources.
And they came from IBC.
Thank you.
You see already that Mr. Msanda was killed for this particular purpose. So this is not a laughing matter.
Can we have a final question in English? Yes?
Mr. Odinga, I'm just wondering if you expect your supporters to actually heed your call for calm, given that you've completely said that these elections are a complete fraud.
No, I don't control the people, but I've asked them to remain calm. So that question is now academic.
Zile ya Kiswahili moja.
Ningependa kuuliza waziri mkuu, je, sasa unachukua hatua gani baada ya matokeo haya kutolewa? Unapinga na unachukua hatua kwenda mahakamani, ama unawaambia namna gani wafuasi wako kwa sababu unapinga matokeo?
Kwanza ningependa kueleza Wakenya ati tumeweza kufichua wizi wa kura ambayo ilifanyika jana kwenye kikao ya tume ya uchaguzi kule Bomas of Kenya. Na hii ilikuwa ni njama ambayo ilikuwa imepangwa na wana Jubilee, na wao wenyewe waliingia katika mtambo ya kusambaza matokeo, na kule ndani ya hiyo mtambo wakaanza kubadilisha mambo humu ndani, kuzidisha kura ya mpinzani wetu na kurudisha yetu chini. Hiyo ilianza nendo wa saa 6:40 ya mchana jana, na ikaendelea mpaka asubuhi leo hii kama saa 8 ya alfajiri. Katika hiyo njama walimekuwa wakizidisha kura kwa upande moja, na hii inakana imefanyika kwa kaunti zote 47, na vile vile imebadilisha matokeo sio tu kwa uchaguzi wa rais peke yake, lakini vile vile imeathiri matokeo ya uchaguzi ya MCAs na wabunge, wa mama, wa seneta, wa gavana kwa jumla. Kwa hiyo sisi tunasema hapa kinagaubaga ati hatujakuwa na uchaguzi. Bila Rais Uhuru alisema akiwa kule Turkana, akarudia tena juzi huko Makueni, ati yeye hahitaji kura ya watu upande hiyo. Alijua pale kura yake itatoka. Yale ambayo imefanyika hapa sasa ni wizi mkubwa sana ambayo imefanyika. Nasema wakati wa Kenya walikuwa wanasubiri kwenye mstari, wengine wanapigwa na jua, wengine wanapigwa na mvua, au jamaa walikuwa wanakaa hapa Nairobi wanastarehe, manake walikuwa wanajua yale ambayo watafanya. Kwa hivyo haijafanyika katika historia ya taifa letu tangu ile wakati ile wakati wa mlolongo. Alafu baadaye tukakuja kwa mfumo ya siasa ya vyama vingi, akuja kweko na wizi ya kura kimo hiki ambayo imefanyika na hii serikali ya Jubilee. Na wale ambao walifanya haya maneno wanajulikana. Wengine wao walikuwa wanawakilisha Jubilee kule katika ukumbi ya Bomas. Kwa hivyo hii ni maneno ya kusikitisha. Tunawaambia Wakenya wenzetu wawe watulivu, tukienda chini ya hii maneno ili tujijue, alafu tutatangaza baadaye hatua ya kuchukuliwa.
Na Mheshimiwa, unadhani unaamini kwamba IBC itatoa majibu ambayo nyinyi mmewaomba wawape? Na je, uharamia uliofanyika katika mtandao umefanyika katika kituo kikuu cha kutangazia matokeo cha IBC ama pia katika kaunti?
Hiyo swali ungeuliza na IBC.
Bwana Odinga, uliwahi kunukuliwa ukisema kwamba hutokwenda kwa Wakenya kusema kwamba safari hii umeibiwa kura. Imekwaje tena?
Tunaambiwa, tunasema aturudi kulia. Atulii, mnaona tunalia. Atulii. Sisi tuko starehe. Maana yake yote imeonekana. Mwizi ameshika mshana. Ushahidi iko hapa pale. Sasa ndio tunasema Uhuru lazima aende.
Tukomesha hapo.
Moja tu, Rais Thabo Mbeki akiongoza kundi la AU Observers amesema kwamba ameridhishwa na jinsi ambavyo IEBC imeendesha shughuli nzima ya uchaguzi. Inamaanisha kwamba hakuwa anaangalia yale mambo ambayo nyinyi mmeangalia.
Tutakuwa na mkutano na wale washuhuda wa uchaguzi baada ya hapa saa 6 kamili leo hii. Tumeongea hata na mmoja wao, na tutakwenda na hiyo ushahidi kueleza. Manake wale ambao walikuwa wanaongea walikuwa wanasema yale waliona kwenye vituo. Ile ilikuwa ni kama harusi, ni karakasi. Kwa hivyo ile ambaye alikuwa anakwenda tu kwenye vituo, wana vile watu walikuwa nasubiri kupiga kura, yote ilikuwa safi sana. Lakini uchafu ilikuwa iko ndani hapo kwa Bomas of Kenya. Kwa hivyo yale hawajajua, lakini tutawaeleza kinagaubaga ili waweze kujua.